Never underestimate the power of
Alan!
Hello YouTube, welcome to another gameplay commentary because I messed up my audio settings, so my entire VOD is muted on stream. However, that's not a problem because these are really fun games, and today I want to present you another one, the second game that I'm commentating, which is against the Malphite. Remember that all of these games are being played at 1400 LP. However, the Malphite that I'm about to play against is an auto-filled mid laner and probably just picked it because he hoped to have a safe counter pick. He's gonna do a lot of mistakes, which I'm gonna highlight. However, you need to be aware that you might not have punished them. So, I'm gonna show you the mistakes, I'll show you how I punished them, and then you know how you can actually win this matchup. I end up being quite a driving force for why we win this game. However, this Malphite that we're about to play against is quite a legend. He was playing extremely aggressively. That's actually his very first mistake. Here, I know I want to auto-attack the minions to get the push. However, I also want to have fleet footwork back up. So my fleet footwork was at 100, so I auto-attack the minion immediately so that I can get it back to stacking. Because else I would need to wait until I auto-attack Malphite to get my fleet footwork going. Does that make sense, chat? I'm also streaming this, by the way. So I auto-attack so that I'm allowed to keep auto-attacking the minions and I can prepare my next fleet footwork proc instead of just waiting until I'm allowed to auto-attack Malphite. He comes back to lane pretty quickly. I don't want to trade yet. However, I say I don't want to trade yet. Why did I just trade while he doesn't have fleet footwork? Because there is one rule here, which is that Malphite, if you check, maybe I can actually even bring it up for you. Malphite champion LOL. Malphite's Q damage is actually very low, level 1, and each stack that he gets gives him more damage. You can actually see it here, where it's 70, 120, 170. So every single point in Q gives him 50 more damage. However, it costs the same amount of AP. So what you want to do in the early game is make him Q you over and over and over, because he's not gonna have enough damage to kill you. However, he's gonna run out of mana first, because it costs a lot of mana and doesn't deal a lot of damage. So every single time that I can, even without a fleet footwork trade an auto attack for a Q, I'm gonna do it because I want him to Q me. How the Malphite is supposed to play it is chill a little bit until level 3, so that he gets a Q that deals 50% more damage. And essentially, you can see it as every single Q that he hits me with is 50 HP that I'm saving in the long run. And I'm gonna force him to use TP really early, which means that since he runs out of mana so early, which means that I can punish him later on. Another mistake that this Malphite is doing is he keeps not waiting for his passive to get minions, which means that not only is he bleeding mana, he's also bleeding HP. I actually went Dorn's Ring 2 pots, which is by far the most aggressive early game setup that you can go. He also went Comet, but as you can see, I'm not really struggling at all. I could even base here, since Malphite will need to TP either way since he has no HP. However, we know that Rumble is at blue buff and I want to deny him more minions. You can see here based on the 70 damage that, and by the fact that he uses W now, that he didn't skill Q midway. So like if you level up your Q while the Q is coming out, then it actually deals more damage. But because it dealt 70 to me, I knew he didn't do that. So here I'm really confused as to why he isn't basing. I thought he based, but then I suddenly see him here. He delayed his base for no particular reason, so I get to shove this wave in. But even if he based immediately, I wouldn't have been in any danger. So here, instead of harassing him, right, I'm out of mana as well, I'm out of refillable potions. He actually went Dark Seal, which once again is the most aggressive setup you can possibly go. So this is a general rule of thumb against Akali, against most AP top laners, like against Rumble. You should go a Nullifying Orb. In general, like Nullifying Orb when you play Teemo is also really annoying. It just decreases your damage by a lot. And this way I'm also going to decrease Malphite's damage by a lot. You need to think about it from Malphite's perspective. The way he wins the lane is by poking you out and then getting an all-in with his ult. So your main goal is to deny damage from him. Yeah, I mean Null Magic Mantle. I don't know what I just said, but I mean the item that I just bought, Null Magic Mantle. Here, once again, he's trading while I've got Fleet Footwork up. That's not really good for him. Even at level 5, it's kind of too early. It's not that much too early, but he should at the very least wait until he has his passive up. Then it's not that bad. Here, he just keeps not waiting for his passive, so I keep getting way more damage in than I should. But once again, I do these trades because I know that he has no passive. I would be playing slightly differently if I knew that he was playing for his passive. Since he doesn't have TP, I'm now pinging for a dive. However, my rel isn't there quite yet. Since I'm the one looking for a dive, even though that was a bad trade technically with the Q for auto, since I'm the one with the kill pressure, I don't really mind. Rel was a little bit late, so I decided fuck it, we're not gonna dive him because especially if you get 6 and you can ult, the dive is really difficult. It's not like I've got that much HP. So I base, however he thinks that I'm just waiting and he ults the bush, which honestly I really respected. As you'll see in the rest of the game, this guy's a maniac, right? He's just constantly throwing Qs at me, ulting blind into a bush. It's a nice idea, but I was intelligent, I based at the correct time, and now he has a really rough spot because he doesn't have TP, he used his ult, and the wave is pushing into me. However, something really funny is about to happen. I want to freeze this wave, but what ends up happening is that I actually go into stealth. I was waiting for the minions to attack me so that I could drag them towards the bush, and I expected this minion to auto-attack me, but it somehow teleported down here and didn't attack me, so I went into stealth and the wave actually crashed into the tower. So what should have been a freeze ended up not being a freeze. Kinda laughed my ass off when that happened. It's so silly. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do wave management, and then yeah, went into stealth and the game. I mean, it's not that bad to have a push, especially because, as mentioned before, it's between 6 and 6:30 minutes, so any trade I do is good because I can take the honey fruit in the river. I slow push this wave mostly to see if I can deny him some minions, stack up an even bigger wave. If you look at my base, by the way, I once again didn't buy anything aggressive. I'm just buying Root Crystal, even if this guy is playing poorly, especially since this guy has such an aggressive setup. The more aggressive he goes, the more defensive I have to go. The thing is, me with a defensive setup is going to outscale Malphite with an aggressive setup. Because Malphite that goes full AP is kind of one-trick wonder. And like, he has to land a huge ult or he's kind of useless. Meanwhile, tank Malphite can kind of just chill. So once again, I'm kind of just trading really heavily because I've got Fleet Footwork, I've got the plant, and I'm being chilling. I can look for the rumble here, but I think we actually do end up looking here and it becomes quite a fiesta. I actually want to go back to my lane, but they're all here. I actually thought Senna would invade with Rel, but instead Senna goes back bot lane through Syndra. So what I thought would be a 3v2 is a 2v2. Yeah, then I end up attacking the blue buff because the blue buff is in the way. I have to kite back. I could have taken a little bit more damage if I played it better. But Syndra flashes over, and here I ping the shroom. I'm like, okay, this guy is dead, right? He just walks into the shroom. I Q, auto, maybe ignite, he dies. And then this madman actually flashes like this. Which is crazy, because if my shroom is over there and not over here, he flashes into shroom, I flash after him and kill him. But this Giga Chat just flashes, and lives. He might have seen me place that shroom. That's an explanation. I didn't know that he saw my shroom. So usually it's better to freeze this, but minions are so troll sometimes. I see that my shroom is here. For some reason the minions crashed in a way that this shroom can actually explode. Usually it doesn't explode. So while usually it's better to just base, freeze the wave, and let all your minions die, I have a feeling that this shroom is going to explode. But I can't know that for certain, right? So instead of freezing, I decide, okay, screw it, I'm just gonna push. But then, suddenly this minion decides, ah man, I have to walk all the way around this to attack a minion, and it explodes the shrooms anyway, so I waste my shroom. That's very kind of minion. I'm not confident that I can dive here, however I really want to play it, and I know that his ult is on cooldown because he used it on Rel. So I go for the plate, I see if I can cheese him, but I'm pretty sure that the melee minion saw me. So yeah, by staying here I kinda force Malphite to base, however he doesn't, which surprised me. I see Rumble come, so I'm like, oh, okay. I am no longer allowed to... Wait, really? Okay. I was kind of baiting here, I believe. I can no longer push this out. Then turns out he didn't come to gank me. The Rumble stayed in his jungle. If he stays in his jungle, I know that I can tank 2 more Qs without dying. I'm ready for him to flash onto me. For example with Q E. But he doesn't do that. Because I ignite him, he thinks, ah, okay, let me just wait it out. And I end up getting an aggressive flash onto him because I know that he doesn't have flash or ult. So that was kind of well played by me. So even though this guy is misplaying, I'm making him Q me by just offering myself up, right? And I end up knowing that this ends up good for me. So I say in the stream that this is an extremely ugly build, and I agree. However, all the items just fulfill the role. First of all, they've got Ashe, Ori, Rumble, so Swifties are just really good for the slow. Malphite also has a slow. Then Verdant Barrier is just best MR item that I can really go. And then, since this guy is really going full AP, and I feel like as long as I live, I can play the game, I go Leeching Leer. I don't like Leeching Leer. I think it's a bad component, however, in this case it just gives me maximum sustain, so that's what I go for. And you will see me constantly go for these auto fleet footwork auto trades for Q. It really makes a big difference how you use your fleet. And see, I end up out sustaining Malphite damage. The Malphite ult that he did a second ago, by the way, really wasn't that bad. It's just usually... Like, I actually recommend doing that as Malphite. Just ult the Teemo on cooldown, then usually you can poke him out of lane and threaten a kill on the second ult, or force him to base. However, I'm building so defensively and playing decently that that play doesn't work out for him. But in general, just throwing your ult out YOLO style is fine. So now I'm constantly walking back and forth to get better fleet footwork, healing. I don't really want to base because I have nothing good to buy. So I just perma heal, I look for cheese. I see that he's not gonna run into the shrooms, so I try to incentivize him. Saying like, ooh, I don't have fleet footwork, don't you want to go for a Q onto me? Don't you want to go for a Q onto me? Don't you want to go for a Q onto me? And I go. So, with shrooms you can often extend your trade. There I get 3 auto attacks in, where usually you only get 1. So life is pretty good. I don't actually think I had to throw a shroom in there. I don't know what I'm in a hurry for. I think I'm a little bit wasteful with my shrooms. Alright. I used my shroom because I wanted to get the plate. But he just ults the wave, which is also a decent play. And stops me for 1 more wave. But now I'm like, okay, you have no ult. The tower has like 2020 HP. There's no world in the universe where he doesn't get 1 in and out of. And by trying to deny me the plate, I end up killing him again. Senna helps me out with the push. And since they're all top lane, I go mid lane now. However, Syndra is on their way. to me. I wanted to grab the plate. I see a big fight, so I rotate to it. I feel pretty strong. Riftmaker complete, and I know that they won't be expecting a Teemo flank. I'm actually perfectly outside of their vision, and now the Orianna support, probably because of Malphite, gets run over. Throw a Shroom there, just in case he... Actually, that nearly hit Rumble. Basically, Rumble can only run by going back to my tower. He can only run by going back to his tower, because else he would be running into my tower. So I just throw a Shroom there, and I'm like, okay, you wanna run? You're gonna walk into my Shroom. I mess up the timing a little bit though. They have a lot of very impactful... They have a lot of very impactful ults. So at this point I keep saying, okay, I just want to play safe. I want to play safe. That's why I built the stopwatch. Building Banshee would also mean that I delay my eventual Zhonya. And I also want to preserve my bounty and my Dark Seal stacks. So that's why I start building towards Zhonya. And it's actually the reason why I'm able to kill the Yone over here. However, then a wild Malphite teleports on my face. You'll see that I keep walking to get fleet footwork procs, and I throw a Shroom in the wave to heal up with Riftmaker. I would have actually killed Malphite there, but Rumble ult kills me. However, Rumble ult and Malphite ult and DP means that, like, it is annoying to die there, but you need to realize that like Rumble could be mid lane ulting right now. Or like Malphite could have ulted mid lane and my bot lane would have died. So in the end, at the end of the day, it's only me dying. They use everything, and I don't mind that too much. Like, I can't prevent all Malphite TPs or ults after all. Malphite also doesn't have TP, so now we can more easily do plays around the map, knowing that we don't need to worry about his TP. So we get Herald, we use Herald top. I see a teamfight mid, but at this point I'm probably too late to it anyways, so I just take the inhib. Sometimes taking the inhib is bad, because you don't want the enemy team to get super minions. However, in this case, their team really wants to group up and force fights with their ults, so if we force them to send one person top lane to deal with the super minions, that means we can use the pressure to easily get the next dragon and get the next two tier 2 towers. Once you have those tier 2 towers, we can choke them out of vision and set up Baron, since we're so far ahead. So I can actually draw it. By taking this, I force someone to go over here. If he goes over here, we can take this. Then by 21 minutes, the inhib might respawn, but then we have full control over this area of the map. We can just set up Baron, and they will struggle. That's why I take inhib, because we have the choice, or we have the possibility. The team goes for an invade here. I mean an all-in, which is weird, because why would we? We have no ults up. And we have both solo laners in the side lane, so yeah. Kinda saucy gameplay by my team. Macro isn't the best even in top 30 EU West. I even typed in chat, get you to bot lane. This is actually something that will happen multiple times this game, where Yasuo just really gets the Yasuo syndrome and goes to die for fun. So this is kinda like what I had in mind, right? With Syndra and Yasuo were taking mid lane, I'm taking tier 2 because Yone has to take top. However, because Senna died, they can get catches onto the rel, and because they keep dying for fun, we have a pretty difficult time actually pushing anything. Here, the Yone TPs with 300 HP, just probably because of the Yone TPs with 300 HP because he was trying to clear super minions. They might have been attacking him while he TPs. Then the Malphite with the ult and to flash over the wall and to die to Senna anyways. Complete Giga Chat gameplay. I just kill whoever is available. And we get the tier 2 tower. In general, in the mid game, you want to play around tier 2 towers whenever you can. On my way back, I know that I'm pretty strong. I think I tried to go for a dragon, because I know that they're still dealing with the super minions in base. I asked my team, hey chat, can I reset? Not chat. Hey team, can I reset? Then I noticed, oh, I have so many defensives, so it's unlikely that I die. Let me buy Magi. I tell my team, please, just 30 seconds, and we will be alright. But Yasuo gets the Yasuo syndrome, and they die again. Oh boy. The Senna is comp, by the way, the Koi AD carry, like, yeah. The macro of some people is really rough. I know that the Ashe E doesn't actually reveal me here, so I go for a small stealth play. I know that Malphite obviously wants to ult here, but this fight honestly looks very doable. Yeah, Well and Syndra land great ults. Malphite, as soon as he misses his ult, is useless. And we get the Baron. Yeah, it turns out waiting for me is really OP because I'm actually very strong and I can do a bunch of stuff. At this point I can kind of build whatever I want and be strong. However, my core theory in this game is that if I don't die, I win. So that's what I'm proceeding with. I'm thinking about buying Anathema's Chains and then putting it on the biggest threat target, which is probably the Rumble. I want to play on 3 lanes here, but Yasuo gets the Yasuo syndrome and decides that winning easily is too difficult. So he dies bot lane for fun. Syndra is like, they literally have one combo and they keep dying to it. Oh well, that's okay. Even though we have Baron, they have so much engaged that talking so much is difficult, by the way. What was I trying to say? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that I overstepped, but they don't deal any damage because I've got so many survivability tools. I just assumed that Malphite has no ult here because Yasuo died, so I probably got ulted for fun. And my team would also be pinging me back if he still had ult. So we go for the inhib. However, I'm really worried that if I walk together with the Rel, they're gonna cut us off over here and I'm gonna get Malphite ulted because it might be off cooldown now. So I go the long way. I also think at this point we might as well wait for Yasuo, because why play 45 again for fun? I tried to heal up on the inhib with my fleet footwork, by the way. 200 healing per auto attack is kinda nasty with it. So we just do random skirmishing. At this point it's hard for us to get any more advantages. The dragon is respawning. So I just... yeah, we back off my team bases. However, I don't really have anything good to buy in base, so I just farm minions, farm waves, take the dragon, take the blue buff, and stay because I need 100,600. Now I'm about to do a really nice play. Think about whether you would have the timing down as well. Rel decides that this is a complete all-in angle. I try to help her and bam, the Zhonya. Malphite, Orianna, and Yon all ulted at the same time. And with one Zhonya, I block all of their abilities and my team can clean up. So I think this game is actually very losable because of the Yasuo syndrome. He dies again for fun. However, I played safe, I played towards my win condition, I built in a way where they have a very hard time killing me. Fleet footwork is still astro broken and I ended up carrying this game. Yeah, building defensive often leads to you being allowed to play more aggressive, right? I wouldn't be allowed to push so far forward if I didn't have Zhonya. Yeah, that was the game. I think you can see in a second what LP I get. Yeah, that was 1 game away from Challenger. Next game, from 1400 LP, next game is actually gonna be the game that I get 1400 LP with, and it's actually one of the best games that I've ever played in my life. So look forward to it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Never underestimate the power of the Scouts code. Code. 2, 3, 4. Scouts code. 2, 3, 4. Yes, sir.